This is a playthrough of Legends Untold. I'll be using the Weeping Caves Novice set with the Missing Adventurer scenario. Now there's one modification I made to level 1 characters, is I gave each of them the upgrade weapon, and that's because I wanted to give a kind of a full playthrough without dying. I played this a few times, and at least on level 1, it's pretty easy to die if you're not careful. So to make it go a little bit smoother this time, I'm playing with the upgrade weapons. Normally you wouldn't do that, but it's kind of a thing I did to make it a little bit easier for the playthrough. I've got everything set up. I've got the I think it's called the adventure deck. I've got the time deck, and I've got the initial scenario. Our goal here is to find both the tattered map and the warning note. So let's see. So the very first thing is we start in the cave mouth. We start in the cave mouth, and we have to basically choose where to go. So we can go either out the kind of the easier exit, which will give us a better chance for seeing the traps ahead of us, or we can go out the dark exit, which will give us a better chance to sneak. We can also choose whether we want to sneak, which will give us some additional chance to not encounter or to surprise enemies. So one thing is, I am using these reference sheets. These are found on the website, and they go through each of the phases. I found these pretty handy because there is a lot of things to know, or at least things to go through for each of the phases. So, okay. So let's see. So I think what I'm going to do is, and the other thing I've done is I pretty much always set with a scout in front and a guard in the rear with the noble in the middle. So let's see here. So we'll start with, I think I'm going to sneak. So we'll need to use up one of our time. As these things get exhausted, we're going to get different things that happen. So the first thing we do is we'll add the new location to the map. So here's the footprints. Whoops. So we'll move here. Now we need to make a scouting test. So this game involves a fair amount of tests. So since we scouted, or since we went through this exit, we are at 9 difficulty. We have a +2 because we're sneaking. So this is pretty good. This is a 13, 14, 15. So +4 or more on this. So we can actually move this to the alert section. Now, because we came through here, there's this barrier. Oh, shoot. I think I missed the barrier deck here. Should have it set up. Let me grab it out of here. So there's 2 more decks, actually. There's this barrier deck, or obstacle deck and barrier deck. So this one is obstacles. So at this point we could turn back if we didn't want to go this direction and try a different way, but I also noticed that there's loot here, so I probably want to continue down this direction. There's easy to get to loot and then a campsite if we needed it, so that's not bad. So let's try to see what this barrier is. So let's open this guy up. So with a this is a trap table test. So one hero must either balance grace or probe handle -1, and these are essentially what what's going to happen. So, and we also have this reference card here. So if we look at this, we say, oh, skull. That one is shoot, where is it? Fear. Gains a fear token. Basically, we'll have to gain weakness in all tests. So that's not too bad. So our best chance is Grace or Handle. So this one's Handle +3, and one's Grace +2. So either one is okay. So we should probably do... I guess I'm going to do... I'll do the Grace +2. So we'll get a +2 to this. And then, let's see here. Booby trap, obstacle. Yeah, we can retreat or resolve if it's a trap. So this also gives you an idea of what you can do on the alert phase. The good news is we probably won't lose alert. And I forget what this means. This means, oh, for alert, we get a +2 to our check. So we'll actually get +4 to this roll. So let's see. Man, okay. So this is bad. So this is, we're at 8 and 9. So this would be, the center would take... Yeah, the center would take fear. So do we want to... I think I have something that allows to... No, can't reroll Fey test. +1 hero. So this one we could reroll 1 die. So that would give us, we already have an 8. So we would need a, that's pretty bad. But it is just a, yeah, so, I don't know, I'm just going to take the fear, I think. So let's go and we'll take the fear token on our middle one. So it's going to give us a weakness versus tests. So where the heck are the fear tokens? All right, I'm just going to replace the token I'm using here because that's the fear token. So the center gets a fear token, and then we discard this guy. So now we've moved past this, and we've gotten in the room. So now the next phase is the adventure phase. So actually we have to look at this. So this means there's a foe in the room, so we have to draw a foe card. And the way that works is we take this and we flip it over until we find a foe. So we have found a foe without a, essentially without any loot on it, which is unfortunate for our team since we're looking for specific stuff. Now if we look at this card, it shows that with 3 people we have 4 guys and 1 health each. So I'll go in here and I'll create a stack of 4 tokens, 1 health each, just to signify how many people we're fighting against. Now we are alert, so essentially that gives us a opportunity to surprise them. I believe we actually surprise them in most cases here. Let me see. Oh, alertness value to foe. Oh, we actually have to re-roll this thing. So our foe is 9. So we actually got, we're going to get 0 plus 2. So we're going to get a +2 to this. And we are at 9, 10, 11. So we're at +2, which means neither is surprise. So it's just a regular combat. So first range combat. So this guy is range, which is going to be unfortunate for us. So we're going to exchange fighting. So I'll fight with my noble. So I have this flexible one. Now I can make, if I flip this over, I can take 2 additional range attacks this round with the sling. I also can, let's see here. Okay, so I can also choose to, at the end of this one, I could retreat, but I'm going to, I think I'm going to flip this. Maybe we'll get a campfire here soon. So I'm going to get, so this one I get 2 additional range attacks. So hopefully I take these guys out. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to try to melee them. All right, so I'm going to hit this with, so I have 11, which is 1 up above 10, which means this symbol takes effect. So what this means is the next, essentially the next person gets the next attack gets disadvantage or advantage, depending upon who it is. So this guy will get disadvantage on his attack, which is essentially minus 1. Okay, so we'll roll for these guys. Now this is 10 minus 1, so it fails, I think. Yeah, it basically just fails. Misses. And now the other 3 get to attack, unfortunately. That one misses. That one misses. Man, my rolls are bad today. And that one misses. Okay. So now we're on to this one. So we're going to attack with the farmhand, I think. The melee attacks work a little bit differently. You're kind of engaged in melee combat with these guys. So let's see. So that's a pretty good one, actually. That's 9, 12. So we hit. So that's going to take out one of these. Just put them over here. And now the forge hand is going to go. Fortunately, you can see why having upgrade weapons is so important. So this one is going to give advantage or disadvantage to the next attack. So now we're at the end of a combat round. So one thing to keep in mind is the second number is when the foe will retreat if there's less than. So in this case, they will not retreat because they're, I guess, Goblin Brave. So now we can decide if we want to keep fighting or leave. Since we already went through this barrier and there's some stuff in this room, I think I'm going to keep fighting. So the noble's going to go with advantage. Hopefully it's a better roll. So 7, 10, 11. I guess the next one's going to get disadvantage. The Goblin Braves go. So that would be normally 11, but it's actually going to be 10. It still misses. So that's 13. So 13 is a next one gets advantage. And the last one is a miss. So I've been pretty lucky on these rolls. Okay. So let's let the farmhand go. So he's got 11, which is, so this one is, one takes, each one takes 1 damage, I believe, in this melee attack. So let me just check that one. I had that one come up recently. Oh, I forgot to add the +1 here. So it's actually 12, which means it's a advance. Hero drives a creature back. Either next attack or hero gets advantage or disadvantage. So I forgot to apply the melee attack modifier here of +1. And probably takes a damage. Let's see here. 6, I get advantage. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10. So each one takes a damage in this case. So one of these is going to die. Now when you take damage in here, you have to flip over one of your things. So I need to see. This aggressive might be the worst. Yeah, so I'm going to flip that over. You lose one of your skills. After you lose all these things, you become incapacitated and you have to heal yourself by resting. Okay, so the Noble's going to go. That's a big hit. So this is 15. So, yeah, with this, it's a critical, which means usually 2 damage, if I remember right. Yeah, it gives a damage and an additional, and gives advantage to the next hero. So we kill one. Now this guy attacks for a miss. And now this guy's farmhand's got advantage. So hopefully we're going to do this. So 12, 13, 14. Yep, that definitely does it. So this guy is defeated. Goes over here. Now normally we would collect treasure from the guy, but there is no treasure. So now we search for treasure because if you look at the card, there's a little thing. So we take this and we put this token on. To show we searched it, we're flipping over 3 cards. And we ignore anything except for the loot in this case. So we get rid of this and we get this Baby Mulog. Add 2 supply tokens to this card. When gained, near searching search stones, you may discard us. Oh, to careful. Yeah, so I forgot. I meant to careful search so that I don't have to fight any of the guys or deal with the traps. So I got to use up my token here. So when you're searching, you actually have to, if you want a careful search, you spend time, which, at least in my experience, spending time is better than dealing with the stuff in this deck. So this one's actually nice because we'll be able to careful search without spending any stuff. So I'm just going to put this down on it as a 2 counter, and we flip it to 1 when it's done. So now we could go through this, or we could go into the next room, or we can choose to rest. So the rest phase, if we camp, we can spend time to heal. We'd be better if we made it past this to have a campfire, or just move on to the next round. So I think I'm not gonna rest. I mean, she's not in the greatest place with her fear, but I don't know if it's worth camping yet. Let's see. So what'll happen if I don't? Oh. Okay, so I actually get this. I actually remove it at the end of the rest phase. So the only thing that I would want to get rid of is this, but I think we can live without that problem. So let's decide to go out this exit. So we flip this over, line this up. It's another obstacle. So we're gonna go, we need to do our scouting test. So we have to beat a 9 with a, I'm gonna sneak, so +2, which we did. So so we beat 15, so 4 more, so we're still alert, which is really ideal because we can actually retreat from these cards. So now we have another obstacle card, so let's see what this one says. Each hero must test move, grace, +0. Okay, so basically we're going to test our grace, +0. So we'll start with the scout. And if you're careless, it's -2. So that's not, doesn't apply to us in this case. So let's see. So this one is really good. This one is 15. One other hero automatically succeeds, so it's actually even better than that. It's 17. So who has my lowest grace? So I'm gonna have her automatically succeed. And then now this guy's gonna go. So that is 10 plus 2, 12 plus 2, 14. Looks safe to me. Okay, so we made it past this. That was actually Really fortunate for our adventurers. Now we have a foe that comes out. So the way we do that again is we flip over until we find a foe. So the foe is going to be carrying all this loot essentially. So these are goblin drunks. So let's see here. We got 3 goblins this time. Now these are melee goblins. I guess because they're drunk, and they have this special ability that for each 2 creatures that die, they're going to do extra damage to us, which is not good. So we have to check. We're in the alert phase, so we get a +2 to this test. So we're at 7. So we're going to be at 12 +2. Yeah, so we have surprised them. So all of our people are going to get advantage for this combat. So let's see. So let's do the noble first. 9, 10, 11. So the next one is going to get a bonus. Now with melee combat, they don't roll essentially. So we do our melee combat, and then this roll determines how well we're going to do. So we get +1 on melee, another +1 for advantage, so +2 on all our rolls. So we're at 11, 12, 13. Again, advantage for the next one, or disadvantage for the next combat. Oh, this one's bad. Okay, so this one's 5, 6, 7. So 7, this actually means that, 7, sorry, we have to look here. Oh, shoot, yeah. 11, we missed it. But 7 here, this is, I believe the next person is going to get disadvantage on their attack. Yeah, so this person will get disadvantage. Now we can choose to leave. We check to make sure that they're not going to leave. They're actually not because they're drunk, I guess. We start another round of combat. So, and we aren't going to leave because we want to get all the loot that's on them. Whoops. I'll reroll because I did it wrong. So remember, I get disadvantage on this attack. So it's 12, 13, -1. Ah, man, just missed my sling. Okay, farmhand's going to go. And I could gain advantage on this combat. I don't know if I want to or not. Yeah, I'm just going to attack. So 5, 6. Okay, this is the worst possible one. This is basically fail. Creature inflicts damage on the hero. So I got to flip over one of these things. So prevent all damage. I can actually do this. I'll flip it just to prevent the damage. Well, I can save that actually. That would be more useful. Let's do this. Get rid of that. Okay. And now 4chan is going to go. Please be better than the last one. So 5, 6, 7. So disadvantage for the noble again. All right. Next round, we're going to go again. Okay. Ooh, big money. Okay. So this is critical. There's an 18, so -1, 17. So one of these dies. And, oh, I've been forgetting to add the 1. Yeah, you always have to remember to add this. But anyway, well, it was a good example. And now the next one's going to get advantage. So we actually get +2 on this. You have to remember that. So 13, 14, 15 against that. So critical. Next one gets advantage. And 13, 14, 15. So, okay, done. So these guys are dead. We do nothing with this card. And then we collect the loot. So let's see what we got here. We got discard to gain +2 to your next brute or brawn test. I'll give that to him since he's got most of the brute. If this loot item is discarded for loot item bonus on test, then that item is doubled. Okay, that's pretty nice. So that might be useful there. Okay, so now we defeated the foe in here. So now we can either go here to search that area or move on. I think I'm going to move on to the next room because I want to try to find like these caches that are easier to search. So we'll go, oh, we also, we have a resting phase. We could decide to rest and eat up time, but we only have 3 time cards in the deck. So I think I'm just gonna move on. So we'll do one more for sneaking. And we will go here. All right, now this one's a little bit, so we have to do a scouting test. So we are at 15 and 8. Yep, so we're alert. But we have a -2 to the foe that we're gonna meet. Goblin Guard. Okay, so this one has unique. There's 3 of them, 1 health each. And we get -1 to our thing here. We're probably going to get surprised because we have a -2 to this, and he's got 12. So this actually could. Oh, there's a campsite here, so that is good for resting. Yeah, we're definitely below that. So, okay, so we get disadvantage, or he gets advantage on all his attacks this round. Right, attacker rolls. Yep. So, okay. So first, he gets to go, and he's probably gonna miss. That's pretty bad. So 7, 8. Yeah, he misses. Okay. So Victor Noble goes. Come on. That's actually a pretty good roll. So 14 -1, 13, still hits, so he takes a damage. Now I could increase my damage by 1. I don't know, I think I have to play this beforehand unless it says, so I can't do that. So I'll just take 1 damage. Now I could do this ranged as a ranged attack, but the axe cannot be used. No. I'm just going to attack him regularly. Prevent all damage. Okay. So we got 9, 13, -1, 12. Still hits. Nice. All right. And then the last one is the Forge Hand. 12, 13, -1, 12. Boom. Okay. So, and this is why having the upgrade weapons is a little bit nicer in this, because it's basically a +1 to all your rolls. Unfortunately, there's no loot, but we'll it's going to get us closer to our destination of getting a thing. So now we can decide to search this if I want, but I don't feel like I don't want to really risk the traps in there. Just because that. But we're at a campfire. So if we decide to rest, we can spend time. I believe it's 1 for, let me just double check. During the resting phase, it should be, yeah. So if we're camping, yep. Yeah, so basically we can camp. We can spend 1 time, because we have a campsite in the place, and then we can heal these 2 wounds, so we can get these guys back. And then we'll move on to our next one. So the only place to go is down a dark passage, so that's going to make us a little bit harder for sneaking. We've had some good sneaking rolls though, so maybe we'll be okay. And we put this here. So we're going to move here. We got to roll for readiness. Dark is 9, so that actually isn't that bad. Oh, shoot, I meant to do this. So, okay, before the roll, we have to do flooded caves. So, because we snuck, and we'll use this roll here afterwards, but it affects location of the water. So fortunately, I don't have water in here. Wow. So basically, we don't have to do anything yet, but we're going to get a penalties for the tests in this location. So we may decide not to go this way, but then we have to backtrack a long ways. So I don't know. And there's our stuff right there. So we, you know, we need that to complete our goal. So let's see what the okay, so we have flooded tunnels. So we could, so this is a trial test. We could retreat from it because this is going to be really bad if we do. It's going to increase the difficulties by 1, and we have to we'll take an additional damage for failing. So that's going to be really bad for our party. Okay, so I guess we're going to go back. Now, so if we retreat from it... Oh, so the other thing is this event stays in play. We'll leave it up here to remind us. And then we shuffle this deck. And then we'll use that for the next time, essentially. So let me just make sure here. So for scouting, I've actually never encountered okay, so this has all been resolved. So basically we move here, we spend a time, and we just stay on bold. We don't have to do a test. Now we can move here. So let me rotate this a little bit so we have some room. And now we'll go through this other exit. So because that event came up, it kind of messed us up for this. Okay, so now we want to sneak in here, and we'll get a, this is flooded. This has got water in it too, and a foe. Okay, so sneaking is +2. So and we went through a bright one, so we're at 5, 6, 8. So we're bold. Now we actually have a foe and a discovery here. So let's do our foe first. So foe. Goblin Picket. So I haven't fought these guys yet. They're melee. They get you get +1 versus range, and there's 4 of them, and they'll retreat if there's less than 2. So okay, let's see if we roll. So we went through a regular exit. We're bold, so we need to beat a 9. So 9, 10. Yeah, so we didn't get enough to get advantage, but we don't get disadvantage. So range attacks first. I'm gonna see what we get here. So that's pretty good, actually. 14 +1, 15. So 1 dies, and next one gets advantage, our next attack. So we'll get an advantage on this attack. So this is 10, 11, which is enough to give advantage to the next attack. And this one is 11, 12, which is a hit. Okay, so this is actually a good test. So at the end of a combat round, if the foe is equal to or less than the thing, let me go through the flowchart though, just make sure. Okay. Melee attacks. They do a check to see if check morale. So if they're equal to or less than the number in the second one, they try to flee. So if they flee, they'll basically go back to the bottom of this deck because we're not supposed to shuffle this deck for this one. So I think I'm just going to let them flee because I'm not too concerned about losing that loot. So this goes over here. we go to the bottom of the deck, and then we move on. So the next one is we do the map. So let me make sure I'm doing this right. So if we're doing the map or the exploration discoveries, okay, so basically we're gonna do, so foes we don't deal with. Oh, here's the discovery. So this discovery is in here. So each hero must test charm or intrigue. Basically, there's a raid-clad creature here. Or one hero must test charm or intrigue. Bluff or intrigue. Huh, they both use the same skill. It's weird. Okay. So I have charm here +3, so I probably want to do that. So let me do that. Oh! Bites you and runs. Okay, so I think I'm going to... Man. Alright, I think I might get rid of that. So he basically bites me and runs. Hero takes. Alright, so that's just what happens, and we move on. So there's a camp here. I could heal for some time. I could go through this barrier to search that to get some items. Yeah, I guess we'll try the barrier. So the next thing is the barrier. So what we'll do is we do the barrier, and then we get the question mark, which is the top, essentially the top card. There's like an unknown thing, and then we can search that. So it's a concealed door. One hero may test. So if we do, basically the way this works is you can do the hardest test, and then you can be alert for the next thing, which is something we could want. So, and I have brawn. This guy has 3 brawn already. I think I'm going to discard this to get +2, so this is 5 brawn. So we'll just get rid of this. So +5 brawn, and I got to get 10 or greater, and then I can actually... Loot item bonus on test. I don't have fire, unfortunately. So that would have given me a bonus here. Okay. So yeah, let's do that, +5. So that should be enough. Yep, 12. So 12 + 5, 17. So we're above that. So we get this, and then we get to move to alert. So that's pretty handy. So now, once we're past that, we get this, which is a... let me see here. I forget this. Resolve discoveries, resolve foes. This one always confused me. Yeah, I think we just flip this over, and we have to do this one too. So basically it's a, here it's a barrier and something we don't know. So in this case it's a rune stone. Not too bad, okay. So reason, my best reason is my noble, so it's +2. Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. We may lose some time here. That's pretty good. So that is 10, 15, 16, 17. So, boom. I get to draw 3 location cards and return them in any order. So, there's only 3. So, I guess I can look at them and see what one I might want to go through. That one I don't like. This one I don't like. This one has the goods, so I'll do that one. Okay, now we've moved past these guys, so we can search So I'm going to do a careful search because I don't want any traps and stuff. So basically we just discard these things and we get the items. Oh, sorry. Shoot. Careful search is 1, 2, 3. We get to flip over the first 3. If there's any items, we keep them. If not, they just go in the discard pile. Okay. So I found nothing. And we put the token on here to signify that it's done. Okay. Now, do we want to heal? I mean, we're in a pretty good spot. Oh, sorry. Instead of using this time, I'm going to use my my Molag, my baby Molag. Okay, so let's move on. So let's move through this exit. Now remember, this is a map. So this is going through a barrier. So we're going to what's the medium? So it's 8 or more, and we're gonna sneak, obviously. So we definitely defeat that. Actually, we got we're in the +4. Okay. Now we can do the obstacle, Chasm. Each hero must test. So if we climb, it'll cost us time either way, but we have to pass it. So I guess I'll do the brawn first. Climb versus 11. Well, I can do grace versus it's tough. Okay, climb versus 11. We'll just take time. So he's got 9, 10, 11, 12. So he gets that. So he still spend the time, but he passed. Now we move on to her. Oh, we are alert. So yeah, he definitely passed. He got way more than that. We could spend this item to do ×2 bonus. No, I don't think I'm going to do that yet. So, for her, grace, handle. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So, I'm going to discard this to give her +4. And I'm going to do it versus handle. So, that is 6, 11. No, she misses, so she takes damage. I'll do that one, I guess. Alright. Alright, try again. Oh, man, she's going to get knocked out. Alright, so one more. I guess I'm going to try climb. I'll have to take this. So that is just enough. So we'll take this. We'll see what this guy is. So this is a Molag appears. One hero must persuade her and persuade grants 2 the next scouting test. Okay, so basically we have to persuade charm. So I'm going to have her do that. And that's going to give me, yeah, so we'll get +2 on the next scouting test. And there's also legendary effects, so. Oh, yeah, I guess I was running with the legendary effect. That's why I left the other cave. Now the last one is, I got these. I guess I'm going to use I'm probably going to do the easy one, which is brawn. I'll just lose a time, hopefully. Yeah, oh, I could have passed any of them, but I lose a time. Okay, so now we move on to here. Now, the nice thing about this, I have a map. So, oh wow. So we have all this treasure. Basically, I need to pass this because it has everything in it. So I have this termite tower. reason plus 0. So I'm going to do this. Give +1. All right. Okay. And then so that's going to give me +1, +2, 3. So let's see here. So 3, 13. Okay, so we get a careful search and we collect the items. So I discard this, and then we discard all of the creatures behind this. And we collect all these items. So we got the Tattered Map, which is one of our quest items. We have Candles, which gives us +2 mend. Warning Note, which is our second quest item, so that means we completed the map. Discarded Food, so we can heal people. Lobe Gourds, ranged weapon, and our statue back again. So with the completion of a scenario, you can actually go and level up your characters and play through the next scenario. So this is the very first scenario in the whole, essentially the whole campaign game. Yeah, and I mean, we were able to complete it. It looks like it was about 45 minutes. Granted, we did move through it pretty quick because we had the upgrade weapons for a level 1 upgrade. But you would take, you could take your characters into the next scenario and level them up, getting different abilities, new weapons, new items, just like any RPG. So I played through this a few times with a few different scenarios. I plan on following this up with a full review in the next coming weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like and please subscribe, and please take a look at our other videos. Thank you.